Hey, True Believers, England teen here. I've been having a blast with you guys. We've been ranking rides and attractions. I kind of want to go back and do this for Magic Kingdom, but today we decided we're not just going to do rides. We're going to do whole sections. As you can see by the map provided by Professor Pixel here, we're going to the World Showcase, and we're going to find out what is our favorite country. What is the favorite country pavilion? Now, one thing that is here that I didn't count, we can talk about it a little bit, is the International Gateway. It's down there, but all that is. Oh no, wait, that's not what I'm talking. What I was thinking of. They don't even have what is. What's the International? The International Gateway is a bridge, right?
Yeah,
it's one that lifts up, right?
It's where you can come in via boat. And you dock.
Yeah.
It's a shopping area, and then you can
where
go
people come in. It's an entrance. It shouldn't have its own tag here. For a little bit, I had it in my mind that it was the little African refreshment port over between Germany and China. We're not counting that because it's literally a soda stand and a place where kids could beat the bongos.
Yeah, this map includes Horizons and as a location you can go. So it's
this is a very old map. If Horizons is still up on it, this might be one of the originals.
But it has all the countries we're going to be talking
all
about.
The countries are there. So we're basically going to be going. We're having corners fight corners all the way around. I gave America a bye because there's 11, and we're going to start off with. We're going to do just the 10 leading right up to it, and got to say hello to Trusty Sidekick. And hello to Maranya, who are listening in as well. Hopefully some others will jump on. And to help me discuss this, we have, of course, Professor Pixel.
Hey, howdy, hey.
All righty. Harry Potter's body double. We have Mark. How you doing, sir?
I'm Mark.
All righty. And, of course, we have POTUS Thump. Tim, how's it going today, man?
I'm doing groovy. Thank you for having me right. And that's on again.
Now, when we did this last week and we talked about the countries, it was immediate. Holy crap, we've got to do this one. EPCOT, by the way, is mine and Gail's favorite park. That's what she told me to tell you guys, and she said that she would be mad if I didn't say that. So I have to go with it. Hello to Rob. By the way, my wife will be playing tiebreaker. So if we do get stuck here, she's the fifth person here. We're going to start this off. Let's start off with Mark, and because this, in my opinion, this is the hardest of the two, and it is Mexico versus Canada, sir. Which one and why?
Oh, I wouldn't call that the hardest, not at all. I mean, Mexico. This is. Oh God, it's like asking. I'm going to use a word that would get you deplatformed on YouTube, so I'm not going to do it, but. It's like asking which mentally challenged child is superior to the other.
Really?
No, that's just kidding. We all know that Mexico is better than Canada. But no, Mexico has the awesome Three Caballeros ride. It's got that great like Aztec or Mayan or Olmec, I don't know which one, pyramid. That's really cool. It's got a Mexican restaurant, and I know that the Mexican restaurant is overpriced for what it is. I mean, you can go to a local like taqueria in your city, and it's going to have the same quality of food at the Mexican restaurant at there. But it gives that great, wonderful Mexican restaurant smell, which is just so nice, and it permeates the whole land. I love that Three Caballeros boat ride. All Canada has, Canada has the waterfall that you got to go and find, which is actually kind of neat. I kind of like that the waterfall isn't like out in the forefront. You've got to explore that pavilion to find it, which is actually kind of cool. It's got an overpriced steakhouse that I've never eaten at, so I can't really talk about. And then it's got a terrible movie starring Martin Short that I've seen once and I never want to see again. So Mexico all the way.
Okay. I don't know if I would call it terrible. I tried to turn on their video, but they don't have. But there's Le Cellier. The movie itself looks like this. I'm trying. You guys can see it, right? I shared the channel, right? Okay. They do have the rock and roll show on the outside for Canada and their shop, and the beautiful gardens. Tim, I'll let you go next. What do you think, Canada or Mexico?
I don't think it's a contest. I think Mexico is vastly superior
Wow.
in every way, shape, and
Okay.
form. I mean, supposedly the one thing that Canada really has going for it is Le Cellier, but it's way outside of our price point, so I've actually never eaten there before. But yeah, that's my verdict is Mexico.
Okay. My thing, and this is why I said it was actually a hard decision. Canada is gorgeous. The pavilion is gorgeous. You go through the shops, you go to the back, you got the waterfall that you mentioned, the gardens. It is someplace you can walk around, you can explore. And as we're going through, you're going to find out that that isn't exactly true for all of the pavilions. And that's what really stands out to me for Canada. This is a great pavilion just to walk around. There's a ton of picture spots. Let me pull it up since I'm talking about it. And that's why I was saying it was a hard choice. There is so much more. Yes, it does have a movie that you could see or you can skip. I can't remember the last time we were there, that we went to the camp, but every freaking time I've got to go on the Grand Fiesta. And I'm just saying that when it comes to pavilions, and this is where my decisions aren't going to be the most obvious, I have to think it's more than just the ride. And look at this. This is truly one of the few countries that you can walk around and explore, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, when you go to the Mexican pavilion, and I showed it off a little bit, and it was in the video, I love the temple. And of course, I've already talked about the ride, but even going past the ride, and this is one thing, this is what it looks like when you walk in. So once again, they made it look like a night market out in Mexico, and it is gorgeous, and it is great to walk in. One thing it has over Canada is that you can explore the Mexican pavilion there in the air conditioning, and that's very important in Florida. But even if you're done with the temple, you've ridden the ride, you've seen the shops, maybe even had a margarita or sat down to what is known as the worst restaurant in EPCOT, by the way, the La Hacienda de San Angel, I believe it's called.
Oh, it's not worse than the Chinese restaurant.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is.
It is, Mark. Absolutely.
Really, it is?
Yeah, it's really bad.
The Chinese restaurant is basically Panda Express. How can it be
by
worse?
the way,
No. They've improved a little bit.
I have done my, I actually set it up. I'm going to all of my worst restaurants in not China Garden. The Nine Dragons was on that list, and it is better now. I love the mariachi band out front. When they do the Coco thing, it's amazing. By the way, this guy with the trumpet right here, voice of a freaking angel. I'm telling you right now, he is an amazing singer. Now, recently, we didn't go to we were going to go to this one, La Cantina de La Cantina de San Angel, the one inside here. We were going to go there, but we decided instead to go to La Hacienda de San Angel. I haven't put the review up. Spoiler alert, best meal ever on Disney property. Maybe second to California Grill. Maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
There you go.
I don't know. I'd have to think about it. But
Yeah.
offhand, yeah.
I loved it.
There.
The fast food is awesome as well, and it's on the water with a great view. Overall, for as much as you can explore in Canada, though, I have to agree with you guys that Mexico has to win this one. It's just the air conditioner, the restaurants, overall, the food is better. Like you said, they do have that Canada, the Canadian steakhouse, but it's $75 for a freaking steak. It's outrageously priced.
I don't know anyone who's actually eaten there.
I have, but it was 20 years ago. Before they upped the price. Professor, where would have you gone on this one?
Oh, Mexico.
All righty, it would have been a unanimous pull there. Let's see. I'm double streaming. I am. I did not know that.
I didn't know. He says it's fine now. That it was
okay.
released.
That's straight. Okay, so is this the first time that Mexico has beaten Canada in anything outside of soccer? Says okay. Maranya says, I vote for Canada for Rick Moranis, John Candy, and Second City TV. Unfortunately, they're not there. if they had a movie starring John Candy, I may actually have to have taken another vote and another look. All righty. We're going to go on to the next battle. Mexico wins the first round. We're going to start with you, Professor Pixel. England versus Norway. Oh.
I wish I could fight for England more.
Okay, tell me. I've got Norway up right here. Tell me what you think.
Norway just, it's more of a nostalgia kind of thing. Every time I walk through Norway, I just think of when I was younger, and I would walk through the church that they have standing tall in the middle right there, and you would see everything about Vikings in there, and you'd read all through it, and then you go and ride Maelstrom, and it was an experience that really I did it every time I went. Now, not so much, but at the same time, I still, for that, man, showing it to me and showing me all that Frozen stuff is really hurting me. You know that, right? It's really hurting me right now.
I was actually trying to find the church. They don't have a picture of the church here with Thor and Loki and all that inside of it.
They don't have him in it anymore, isn't it?
No, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's still there.
No, I thought they changed it to all Frozen themed in there.
No, they still have some Norwegian stuff in
okay. I guess Frozen outstretched in my mind, but I still say that whenever you go back there and you used to see the Viking ship that sits there, and you look as you're eating a meal. I've actually eaten there once, but I don't remember what I had. Whereas England has the fish and chips.
Oh, yeah.
And those fish and chips were good. They were really good. Actually, I'm changing my vote right now because I'm thinking they have a band in the back, right? That whenever you walk, there's a band performing back there, and they're usually, aren't they like a Beatles?
Yeah, it was like a Beatles cover band. Yeah.
Yeah, you go back there, and it's so much more open than Norway. At least that's how it feels now when comparing the two. And it's untouched by the mouse in a way.
So far.
Step in
time. It's coming along. Step in time. Cherry Tree Lane's gonna have an attraction here. It's step in time.
That is worth talking about because that is exciting as long as they still do it because it's classic Disney. It's not new stuff that has no reason for infiltrating EPCOT. Whereas that can hold its own and you still feel like you're in England. So I am changing my vote. I'm going to vote for England. It's better than Norway now. Now better than Norway.
Tim, what's up?
I'm voting for Norway. Norway, even though we had not disqualified, but even though it didn't make the rounds last week, when you combine it with the Pavilion, it does have a good attraction. So despite the fact that it's an IP thing, the Frozen ride still has the nuts and bolts of Maelstrom built into it. It is really neat. And the Pavilion overall has not really changed as far as its decor is concerned. I think the shops are pretty neat. You have the whatchamacallit, the Norway shop by itself is actually pretty neat in terms of what it offers from that region. But the bakery they have with the school bread is really good.
Yeah, that's a good bakery. Yes.
Yeah, that's considered almost like a perennial, like iconic EPCOT treat to get if you're a foodie looking for that type of stuff. Honestly, we just tend to walk through England. I mean, it's always on our rotation back, and I think the only thing that we do regarding it is Mark will buy the fish and chips. So you do have that one food item, but I think for overall quality in terms of what you're getting for the Pavilion and what it has to offer, I think the fact that Norway has a ride is a huge advantage in its favor.
Okay, no, that's a good point you make. There you go. How about you, Mark? Where do you sit?
Oh, I mean, if it had been, 6 years ago, I'd have said Norway, but like the Frozen ride, when we ride it, it feels gutted. It's so barren and so much stuff has been removed from it. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to give a pavilion a win just because it has a ride. And the Frozen ride is such a downgrade of the Maelstrom of what it used to be. I'm looking at the pavilion as a whole, and the Norway pavilion, it has a great restaurant. We've eaten there, and we ate there. And it was unexpectedly also a Disney princess meet and greets, where they come by your table. It's almost like a Disney Hooters where they come by your table and ask you how you're doing. And that was a lot of fun. I do have a lot of great memories of Norway.
Hold on, back up. I'm sorry. You can't brush past what you just said.
Oh, it was great. They had this. So it's a seafood buffet. Tim, what's the name of that restaurant?
It wasn't Hooters.
Akershoots. Yeah, that's the thing, is that it's Akershoots. And we were sitting there at the seafood buffet at Akershoots, and just like this parade of very pretty women dressed up as Disney princesses were coming by and asking us how we were doing, and like doing little curtsies and being in character as Snow White and Belle and Ariel, and it was great.
He called the Akershus restaurant the Disney version of Hooters.
I mean, it's the same thing where all these really attractive girls come by your table and are super nice to you, and they're all really pretty. It's the same thing, and that was a great time. And yet, I'm not going to vote for Norway, even with that in mind, because it's just, when you look at that pavilion, it's a dead-end alley. And that's all it is. And it has a ride at the far end that's a gutted version of the fantastic ride it used to be. And it has a really nice restaurant that sometimes has a bunch of princesses there, mostly not. But the Great Britain pavilion, I think, is much more fun to walk around. It has a little square to it. And it has a nice shop in the back, and it has the musicians that play like the British music. Sometimes it's Mary Poppins covers, and sometimes it's Beatles covers. Tim has a really funny video of a Winnie the Pooh meet and greet where he's dancing to like some like heavy metal song that they were playing. They're playing like Black Sabbath or something.
Except it's not there anymore, Mark.
It's not there anymore. That one's gone too.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bummer. But I always get the fish and chips every time I go there. No matter how full I am after we go to the beer garden, I always save like a pocket in my stomach for those fish and chips. So I'm just gonna have to say Great Britain, because it's still the way I remember it, and it's still the way I enjoy it. Whereas Norway has been pruned of the things I liked about it.
It's been raped.
Raped. Oh, you went there.
I wouldn't go so far, but I guess that leaves it up to me. Well, at this point it will, because we're talking about two good but flawed pavilions here. Neither one of them are bad. It depends on what you're going for. I will ride the Frozen ride again. It's not a horrible ride. It's just not as good as Maelstrom. And I do wish they could have fixed the lifts a little bit. And I think that the bakery is awesome. I haven't been to Askershush since, or whatever it's called, since they turned it into the Princess Meet and Greet. So forget Hooters. I do remember enjoying the meal as when we were there before, though. And I know you mentioned the school bread. Everybody likes the school bread, but one of the cheapest snacks you could get at Epcot is in the Norwegian pavilion, and it's this cinnamon. It's almost like a tortilla thing where they put butter flat on it, and then they put cinnamon, and then they roll it up. So every bite is just filled with sugar, butter, and cinnamon, and it's so very good, so very good. That being said, I love a pavilion you can explore. And I get it. It's more, England is a lot of shops and a couple of restaurants. But I do like walking around there. I do like the whole scenery. By the way, if you want to really have a moment, go in the morning time before, like I'm talking about, like maybe 9, 10, 11-ish around there, if you can get there when they open again. Because they open up that area. go into the back of England, maybe even go to France and get yourself your breakfast and then go to the back of England. Nobody is there. It's one of the greatest things. You got the Mary Poppins soundtrack playing above you. You could just sit, relax, and chill in a way that you could never do in Disney at any other time but that moment. It's a great pavilion. And when you talk about restaurants, Askershus versus Rose and Crown, I've been to Rose and Crown far more than I have Askershus. And part of the reason is, one, accessibility, and two, I just dig on that food, man. It's some good food.
I was just about to say, there's a pub right there, so you can drink away the painful moments over at Norway now.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, your back gets killed from the Frozen ride. You go over to England, toss a couple. Except for you're gonna have to pass by Germany and France and all sorts of stuff to get there. Let's see. The two best restaurants at Disneyland California Adventure are Orleans Cafe and Carthay Circle. Well, okay, I'll keep an eye out. We've never been. That's it. We got to put in you know how poor people put in Kickstarters and everything? Please get us to Disneyland. I'm sure that'll just get millions. All right. Professor Pixel saying, when I was younger. I know, right? I told him I'm smacking him if he ever uses the phrase back in the day. Nobody 20 years old should use the term back in the day. It just shouldn't happen.
Hey, I'm drinking age level now. So.
Okay. So anyway, there you go, guys. England wins that round. All righty. We're going to move on to the next battle. Oh, hold on. Clarification is that the England Pavilion are great. It's actually United Kingdom. It's the United Kingdom Pavilion. I said England, but it does have elements of Scotland thrown in there. It's got all in Ireland as well. There's actually an Irish pub. So it is not just England. It is UK. All righty, Tim. You're up, man. We've got two, and we got to count it how it is now, not how it is in the future. China versus France.
China, for sure.
All righty.
China has a circle vision. I mean, let's compare how they were, I guess, in their prime, or at least in recent memory. The circle vision movie in China is far superior to the one in France, Impressions of France. I think one thing that they both have in common is they have a sincerity to them, which I like. It's just that the China Pavilion is a whole lot more magnificent, not only in its recreation of the Temple of Heaven, but also in terms of its shopping. Like, they actually have, ironically enough, made in China goods that are made in China. That's not much of a stretch, but it is where you can get like some pretty affordable souvenirs as well. There was a downside to it a few years ago, which was the food. Now, whenever we go there, we don't eat the food in China because, frankly, even though it's a vast improvement, it's still pretty much on par with some of the really good food we can get in our home state. But I am happy to see that they've done that. They also have a character meet and greet with Mulan there. They also have the acrobats, and the acrobats are fantastic. I think its overall presentation is really good, especially if you're going from the left side of the World Showcase walk. It's a really good pavilion to make a good first impression. In France, I think their pastry section is good. Their use of forced perspective on the Eiffel Tower is not good. It's really bad.
It's kind of like the Bell's Castle on top of that little hill. It's like, why is Bell's Castle on that bathroom?
Yes, exactly. And I think that if France has anything going for it, I mean, it does kind of capture the ambiance of like a French market, but I mean, it's mostly known for its offering of cuisine, which I've tried and I'm honestly not that impressed with it. It's very expensive and not very budget friendly. So I think that China wins this round just in terms of overall presentation.
Okay. Mark, what do you say?
Between France and China, I mean, the win goes to China. So China has the recreation of the Temple of Heaven, which, just talking about the aesthetics of the pavilion, I think that's a much more elaborate, much more exotic and impressive recreation than the little boutique area that France is. I mean, it's very nice, but it's just a little Parisian street corner, which just doesn't impress the way seeing that huge, amazing temple is in China. and China has the movie in it, and I really love. It's kind of become like a meme between me and Tim. China, a wave of my hand and I am gone. It's I don't know. It's something I really enjoy. We do it every single time we go there. Whereas the French film, the Circle Vision France, we've only done like twice, and it's just kind of like, whatever. The French one, I will say that the French Pavilion does sometimes have like the mimes who come out. And normally mimes aren't funny, but they do that cool thing with the chairs where they stack the chairs and they climb on them. Yeah, like those are really cool. And I will say I do like that about the France Pavilion. That's one thing that it has going for it. Whereas the China Pavilion has like the Mulan meet and greet, which I know kids really love. I don't know about the food at either place because I know that everyone made fun of the food at the China place, and just observing it, it really looked like Panda Express. But everyone's saying that they've improved their menu and it's gotten better, so that's great. Never eaten at the France Pavilion because just like the Canadian Pavilion, it's way too expensive, so can't really grade it. But China just I love it. I love China, so that one's going to win.
Okay, Professor, what do you have to say?
Well, when we were talking about attractions, did we ever talk about Impressions de France?
Yeah, it got brought up. Impressions de France.
It died like it should have.
It got shut down because it went up against China.
And China's going to do it again.
China's going to win again. All righty.
I mean, I don't know how I can add on to the excellent points already made. The Mulan there is still the classic Mulan, the good one. So that it has that going for it too. So China wins.
Yeah, they haven't yet said, "Oh, it's Mulan," and it's the live action costume and everything. Okay, so China wins this round. My 2 cents on it. Look, I like the food at France. I really do. Now we haven't been to Monsieur, I think, Chef, whatever it's called. I could actually easily look it up, by the way. I have not yet been there because it's the expensive one. That's the special occasion restaurant. We have been, however, to the other French restaurant, and it is very, very good. We've been to the pastry shop. I've got breakfast there. We've got lunch there. Incredible stuff. The food is really, really good there. Right now, they have a sing-along with Belle inside. So the attractions now are wanting because Impressions de France isn't even open. Maybe later this will change when they open up the Remy ride, the Ratatouille ride. But for now, China's a gorgeous pavilion. I love walking through that store. We don't always buy stuff. I used to get the Chinese tea, but then like 1,000 Asian markets opened around us. So, but I always got tea there. There's just a lot of little trinkets. By the way, if you ever are in a need of a parasol, that's the cheapest place to get, like even an umbrella to hold over your head for sun, or even they've got these animal umbrellas that only $10. So you could skip the whole $30 Disney umbrella. There's just so much to this. And I have been back to not only the ride or the show, and the restaurant. I could say one, it got better. I actually like the Chinese 360 vision a lot better than I used to. This is a little preview of it here. I've got the whole thing on the channel here. And the restaurant, the Nine Dragons, I went in and I tried the grandma's pork belly. Oh my gosh, so very, very good. Very, very good. Also, they've got these dumplings that have the soup inside the dumpling. So when you cut it open, it is so. Yeah. I'm telling you, all the good stuff is in China versus France. So yeah, I would have had to have voted that way. This would have been another unanimous. So can France resist Chinese domination, or will they surrender to the oncoming horde? No, China wins this round as well. You mean the Freedom Pavilion? Okay. I remember Freedom Fries seriously considers stockpiling certain color pins. Yeah, okay. And welcome back to the Food Channel with Englentine. Hey, I go to Disney. I like the food. You're gonna hold that against me?
The video was playing while you were talking, and they showed the puppets that they have. I actually have one of them.
Yeah. There you go. All righty, who's up? Oh, it's me. Okay. Let's see. My choice is either, and this is a tough one when it comes to food. But I don't think it's as tough as if I think about it. But I've got Germany versus Morocco. Now, here's the thing about these. Both of these, in my opinion, are passable pavilions, meaning we could go in and that would be awesome, or we could pass by and that would be all right as well. I don't consider either one of these as must-do pavilions. That being said, I could still go through the good points. When you're looking at Germany, let me get this up again, and I'll start with Germany. See if I. When you start with Germany, you gotta, in my opinion, I like the outside. I love the clock here, and yes, this is a clock like every out. Say again. Oh, you're talking to the clock itself. Every half hour. On the very top, you have a little man come out and he dings a bell, but every hour it actually does this big old show. Over to the side, though, there's a caramel bakery, and it's all Werther's, and it is so very good. They don't have a picture of it here, but it is such a great. I love that caramel bakery they've got there. But here's the strong thing. Right here, you got the Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest is a buffet. When you go inside, it looks like a German village at night celebrating Oktoberfest. You even have entertainment, which is loud enough for everybody to hear and enjoy, but it never gets so loud that it's uncomfortable to be around. And that is one of the main things. The food, it ranges from really good to passable, but it's always been one of our favorite restaurants. It's just one of our favorite restaurants to sit in, but we also like the food. We also love the food. Those are the positives about this. The negatives is this is it. What you see right here in this picture, that's it. That's all. So if you're not interested in doing all of that, like I said, it's a passable pavilion. Then you got Morocco, which once again, you walk all the way back here and you've got all sorts of shops. There's a little museum off to the side that nobody knows about or nobody goes into called Race the Sun. And it talks about I don't know if you ever saw a movie called Hidalgo where the horse goes across the desert and everything like that, but it kind of celebrates that race. They've got the Spice Road table out front. And all the way in the back, they've got the restaurant Marrakesh. These are two of my favorite restaurants at EPCOT. I love them. We just went to Marrakesh. Great, not Marrakesh, but Spice Road table. Great freaking food. I had the salmon with hummus, salmon over hummus at Marrakesh. It was excellent. So talking about both of them, I've got to go with Morocco. I think when I was talking about it, I love the shops. I love the tiling. I love the way it looks. And overall, it beats out the caramel shop in the Oktoberfest. I've got to go Morocco. All righty. Mark, what do you think?
Well, it really does come down to a battle of the restaurants because that's the majority of the attraction to those two pavilions. It really is the food. And yeah, the Morocco Pavilion is more fun to explore. It's a bit more labyrinthian. You have to go around corners and go around curves and find the things in there, which is really fun. Whereas the German Pavilion is kind of the same sort of dead end. But I really love the beer garden. Like we've eaten there almost every year we've gone to EPCOT. And it's not just a matter of quantity over quality, because I've also eaten at the Morocco restaurant, and the Moroccan restaurant food is great. Their coffee is excellent. It's the coffee where it has the sludge at the bottom, but you want to drink that sludge at the bottom of the coffee. But the food at the beer garden is a buffet. It's plentiful, and it's all very good. It's the best sausage buffet in the park. Take my word for it.
It is a true sausage fest. Yes,
and it's also good. The desserts are great. I love the aesthetic inside the beer garden. It's like the aesthetic of the pavilion itself when you're outside in the alley is just like, yeah, this is neat. But inside the beer garden is so cool. They have that fake water mill. They have like the dark sky and the moonlit night, and you have the band out there.
There's a literal like full moon out too.
Yeah. It reminds me of this old Universal horror film called Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, which takes place during Oktoberfest, and they're all out there in their lederhosen playing those polka numbers under a full moon at night. And that's what I think of every time I go to the beer garden. It reminds me of Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. Like, this is so cool. I love this restaurant. I love the food. I love the atmosphere. I love the music. I mean, if I was a little kid and I was there, I would have loved the part where the band asks all the little kids to come out into the dance area and dance to the music. I probably would have done that if I was 6. You know, it's a great experience. The Morocco restaurant is very nice. The food's very good. I almost never order lamb chops anywhere I go, but I got them there because they were recommended, and the food was great.
Was it Marrakesh?
Yeah, Marrakesh. But I have to go with beer garden. When I say I have to go with the beer garden, I guess I mean I have to go with the German pavilion, but it's really just for beer garden.
I can understand that. I think you're kind of right. It does fall down to the foods over because I mean, once again, I'm going to defend my Morocco because, like you said, it's more labyrinth. There's more to walk around. But when it comes down to it, I guess it is food. All right, Professor, where are you going?
I've got to go to the beer garden. I was 6, and I did dance down there. So, when I was 6, I did get to go down there and have a good time with all the other kids. And I guess kids can't have that nowadays because of Corona. But that's besides the point. I also heard the Morocco restaurant is shutting down. Isn't that the case?
No.
So pretty.
No, I don't know if Marrakesh is open right now. I know the other one.
They got sued. So.
I know the other one is. I know Spice Road is open.
There's also a bit you missed. If you play the phone game that they have for Phineas and Ferb, I think it's themed now. It used to be Kim Possible, where you basically follow Agent P around. If you go stand in front of the beer garden, look to the left, and you do the task in that pavilion.
Yeah.
The door opens and Professor Doofenshmirtz is running away from a little guy with a hammer as it goes around playing a song. And that part, I always love when somebody does that because I'm too lazy to actually do it on my own.
Okay. So, yeah. But now you're just telling me that's something we need to go out and do. Yeah. All righty. Wow. So let's see. Tim, are you going to close it out or are you going to give us a tie?
No, I was going to close it out with beer garden.
Beer garden. We all say beer garden.
It's not Germany. It's beer garden.
Well, what Mark said is essentially correct. So we've tried all the restaurants with the exception of Le Cellier in EPCOT and especially in the World Showcase. And as far as our taste is concerned, having something unique that we don't get a lot of between Texas and Arkansas, it really does boil down to Moroccan food and German food. And the food is really good. So I know you said that sometimes it's hit or miss. I don't know, man. Like, we've been going to the beer garden almost every year, and it's really freaking good. But I do think the food in Morocco is better. I think where it wins out, where there's an edge to it, is that I think the Germany pavilion, they have trust me, I speak German. I'm not cursing, but they have like Kunstwerks, and Kunstwerks is like a crystal shop, which is really neat. That adds to it. They do have a selection of baked goods as well in Germany. They have a model like village set, which is actually a big thing in German countries, is miniatures. They're really big into that. So I just think that overall it does a better job in terms of its presentation. But I am just saying that beer garden, I mean, the power of that one place alone is going to give a lot of these pavilions a run for its money.
All righty. That is, I got my butt kicked on this one the same way you got your butt kicked on Norway. All righty. So, I will say this, and this is the one chance I can try to turn anybody's mind. Sure, I know you like the German food and everything, and Maranya's saying, is it fair to judge a pavilion solely on food? So I would like to point to this to you. Is there any other pavilion where you can walk out of Disney with an area rug except for Morocco?
No, it's not. That's a good point.
It is. It is a good point, sir. All righty. So Germany goes forward on this one. And by the way, I would recommend the Spice Table to all of you. It is a very good restaurant. We're back to you, Professor. The last two in this round, because we did give America the bye.
Okay.
Italy.
Okay.
Or Japan. Oh, wait, no, I shouldn't be biased. Italy or Japan. There you go. All right. Italia. Is Mario. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't eaten at either of the food stations at one of them. I know Japan does have a restaurant there.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure Italy has somewhere in there.
Italy has no food in its country, therefore no food in the pavilion. Yes.
Well, then that's a boost for Japan, because otherwise it's just a shopping market either way. And if that's the case, I would rather go to a Japanese shopping market.
Italy has 3 restaurants. Well, 2 restaurants and 1 beer, 1 winery / restaurant. Yeah.
I haven't eaten there, I told you. You can't joke around with things like that. But I still say I'm going to go with Japan, because when it comes to walking around in the store areas that I've been in, I've always enjoyed looking at the stuff that Japan has to offer. And they have the koi pond with the garden out there that you can walk up, and the big temple that they've got. Japan.
I'd be showing off the freaking pavilion. Okay. We got one vote for Japan from Professor Tim. What do you think?
Japan for sure.
All right.
Japan has that store that is very unique for a lot of people who don't live in a city that has a Japanese store in it. For example, where we are right now, there's Kinokuniya, which essentially offers the same goods. It is rare to see those types of items in their market, so it's very good as far as a cultural representation is concerned. I hear that Teppanyaki is actually really good as far as the food is concerned. Yes, there's that kawaii museum that's really cool, but this is for me the highlight of it. Japan has the best kakegori stand I've ever been to. Kakegori is a Japanese term for shaved ice. I don't know what it is, but there is something about the consistency of their shaved ice and the syrups that they use. My recommendation is to get the rainbow flavor. You won't be able to get, you won't forget the taste of it. You can conjure the taste in your mouth. It is what you think a rainbow would kind of taste like. But it's great. Mark was saying about how fish and chips is the one thing he doesn't miss when he's in Epcot. Kakegori is the one thing I don't miss when I'm there.
It's only $4 and you get a big old bowl of shaved ice filled with syrup.
It's big. So great, and it's good on a sunny day. It's good for a nice like fall stroll. Get some of that condensed milk on top, and you're golden. Italy, I'm not impressed with the food. I think that they have like an expensive perfume shop that we've been to. They sell like Ferrari merchandise, which is cool. But again, I think it's the problem that a lot of those European countries have as far as the representation in their pavilions. It's very high price, and it becomes this matter of, do I get my dollar's worth for what I'm spending over there? And I've just never been impressed with any of the food in Italy. It's actually to me, it's one of the most forgettable pavilions. I think the one thing it has going for it is that I think its architecture is very impressive. It does look like they got some Italian architects and artisans to come in there and actually recreate the plaza very well. I've never seen anything like it outside of the Venetian in Las Vegas. So I think that that's good as far as looking at it is concerned.
Okay. Okay. I like to talk up and I like to explain both of them. And I got to admit that I have not been to Tutto Italia restaurant, nor have I been to what is this? Via Napoli, the pizza joint. Every time, even in the beginning, because we went when the restaurant was called Alfredo's, but even then, the Italian pavilion was something nice to walk in, go, okay, there's the statue, it's good, okay, now let's walk out, because it was a perfume shop. It was jewelry. It was like And to your point, it was big price items. This is not one of the things about a lot of shops at Disney is it's very much impulse buys. I want to get a shirt. What shirt? Okay, this shirt. Well, let's walk around. No, I want this one. Boom. If you're going into Italy to buy something, you better have a freaking plan. I can't imagine there's a lot of impulse. I can't, because these things are very pricey. These things, unless maybe, okay, we're going to go out to this fancy restaurant. Why do I need to buy fancy perfume? Now, granted, there's a lot of stuff in the European countries that have this, as you will find in England as well, has a perfume shop. So does France and so forth. But it seems like with Italy, that's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing that says, what does the common person buy in this shop? Now, when we went to Alfredo's, which it looks like the Tutto Italia restaurant is very similar to, it was excellent food. And this is the first time I ever had squid with the tentacles on it and all that kind of stuff. Freaked me out as I got it was like a spaghetti with the squid in it. And it was really good. And I got to say the Italian food was good then. But when you get down to Japan, it has a temple. You can't go up there, but it's gorgeous to look at. It does have the koi pond that leads to the fast food restaurant and the bathroom. Bathroom's horrible. It's one of the worst bathrooms ever because it's a one-seater. Why freaking hell in a theme park did they build a one-seater? It's a theme park, you dumbasses. So I've never been there without a line. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I go up to Teppanyaki. If I'm in Japan, I need to you go into the Teppanyaki and use theirs. That being said, let's go over to Teppanyaki. Let's go over to the Japanese restaurants, and you've got two of the best restaurants in the park. Obviously, one of these, Teppanyaki, is the one that does the slicey dicey thing with the show and everything. Thank you. And then right across the road, they have, or it's literally on the other side of the building, is the Katsura Grill, which is your more traditional with sushi and tempura, right?
Tempura.
Thank you. And it's got stuff like that. Good restaurants, good food. I enjoyed it. Good atmosphere, but it's kind of sparse in its thing. Now, this is one thing my daughter loves is the sake bar. Many a Christmas present has been bought there. This, though, it's a big shop. It's called the Mitsukoshi department store. It is kind of like Japan's Macy's. And it has things in there that regular people buy. And yes, it does have the typical, oh, I'm an American, this is what I think Japanese people buy. It's got the kimonos, it's got the fans and everything, but it also has anime stuff, and it has just normal things. And that's why I'm more impressed by Japan than I am by Italy, because ultimately this is something that you would look at and go, oh, I would buy this at a theme park even. It would be interesting just to own this, not to mention all of the Japanese snacks and candies and drinks. And it's a gorgeous, it is a gorgeous place to walk around as well. Something you can actually explore, as we've said, was important in the first place. So yeah, I got to go with Japan as well.
I have friends of the family that come on down, and every time they go to EPCOT and they grab mochi and out of the Japanese candy store and make sure to buy a bunch before they go on home.
Mark, would you have broken up the set, or would you have...
Nah, it's Japan. There's nothing to do in Italy. I mean, I understand that there might be a restaurant in there, but I've never seen it for myself. I mean, it's a nice. It's got the fountain, which is cool, but it's just an alley shape. There's nothing to really explore in there. I'm not. And so here's the thing, even about the Italian restaurant. So my last name is Pellegrini. My family came from Italy. I don't identify as a hyphenated American because I don't believe in that. I'm just an American. But my family is very Italian, and we made a lot of Italian food. My father taught me how to cook Italian food. I can make Italian food better than any restaurant. I guarantee you, any restaurant at Disney World. So I'm not interested in eating there. Japan, though, yeah, Japan has that snow cone stand that Tim is enamored with. It's got some places you can't really explore, but it has that humongous anime store. And let's be frank, that's really what it is. It's the anime store. It's just full of anime knickknacks and stuff imported from Japan, which kids love. Every time we go into that store, it's just packed with people buying Dragon Ball crap, you know? And then you get to the far end where they got like the kimonos and they've got some sake and stuff.
Oh, by the way, did you know you could try those on?
The kimonos? Oh, yeah. I've tried on so many kimonos.
Get a picture of yourself in a kimono if you go there.
Yeah, they do have a tacked-on little museum at the end. They call it like the Kawaii Museum. That was the last attraction I saw in there. But sometimes they'll have like a little Ghibli attraction in there, which is neat. The museum is kind of an afterthought, but at least there's something to do in the Japanese pavilion. You can go and you can explore that store. Even if you don't plan on buying anything, it's really fun to look around in. You can find that little museum at the end, but there's nothing going on in the Italian pavilion. It's a waste. It's my least favorite pavilion in the whole place.
LK is saying, sounds like Italian shop is for people who will stay at the Star Wars hotel. That $3,000 a night thing. And Moran is like, man, Disney, you failed me, Pazan. You could have done so much more. All right, so Japan moves on to the next round, and that closes out. And the what we've got, these are the winners so far. We got America, England, Mexico, Germany, China, and Japan. And so we're going to continue to round two. America got the pass. Professor, wait, no, we started with you, right? So it's Mark's turn. America versus England.
America versus England. Oh, wow. You're just basically asking me about for the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812. I mean, who am I going to side with? I don't know. Yeah, the America Pavilion. England is great. So I've never eaten at the America Pavilion. I've never actually wanted to because, I mean, I live in America and I can eat American food whenever I want. So the England Pavilion is fun because I love the fish and chips. It does have a little bit more to explore. Honestly, the America Pavilion is just the show. That's really all there is to the America Pavilion, but it's a hell of a show. You know, the America, spread your golden wings. It's fantastic. I love the American Adventure. And even if it's just one show and then a little, like, I think they serve barbecue at those little joints. I don't know.
The Eagle House, Sam Eagle. Yeah.
But it's also, you know what's great about the American Pavilion? It's right there halfway through the horseshoe, regardless of which side you start on. And by the time you get there, you've really got to pee, and it's just loaded with bathrooms. There's just bathrooms flanking both sides of that
Gail
place.
Has declared those are the best bathrooms in Disney, by the way.
They
in the
are.
Pavilion. She really has. She goes, oh, I love them because they're big, and you don't have people peeking in, and you don't have, and they're clean.
They are a lifesaver, you know, regardless of which end you start on, they are a lifesaver. So it's just a great little oasis. It's a great show. American Pavilion all the way.
All righty, Tim.
Yeah, America for sure.
America, spread your golden wings.
Their food wasn't that bad when I tried it. I mean, I tried it a long time ago. I remember it was pretty good, but not good enough to make it a destination in the World Showcase. The show is really good. The bathrooms are really good, but what's really cool about it is their funnel cake. Their funnel cake is amazing. And before they shut it down, their gift shop was really good. Actually, the last 3 trips we've made to EPCOT, all the souvenirs I got were in the America Pavilion. I was actually shocked that they had these inspirational like photos plus autographs and like a placard with a quote on it. And when we were there in 2017, I was shocked because they had Donald Trump. Like they had made sure to have one of those at the ready for people who are going by and shopping. To this day, even in our hallway over here, we're in our apartment, we actually have this placard. It's a wooden map of the United States where every single state has a character doing something that state is known for. And it's a custom product that was made specifically for the American Adventure. So that was a jewel of a shop for the longest time. And, since then they've closed and they're renovating. I don't know if they're going to be open or if they've reopened. But it's good. It's just a really good all-around pavilion.
Alrighty. I wanted to pull up because I've got the pictures, but it's the older stuff. It doesn't have the Sam Eagle barbecue. This is the food that you're getting at, and this is the smokehouse that you're getting now, not the older stuff that they've got in the picture here. I just noticed. This is the American Pavilion. It's an Art of Disney now.
No.
Yeah. Then you do have the show, and inside you have all sorts of artifacts and such from American history that you can explore. This is the theater for the show. And of course, this was the old shop, the Block Hans. I think they still have some of these things, though. They do have the Fife and Drum, which is a place where you can get turkey leg and beer. That's an American thing to say right out. And you got the funnel cake, as well as something you're not pointing out, and you guys neither one of you guys did. The stage.
Oh, we don't care about the stage.
Yeah, the stage is actually in the American Pavilion, and that's where they have all the shows. Where would you go on this one, Professor? America or England?
I feel like we should take a second and talk about the fact that we actually have a video on this channel a while back talking about the new menu that they were getting for the restaurant over in America. So we looked at that, and there was a lot of good stuff on there. So I haven't actually eaten there, but it looks like it got a massive upgrade. So if that's the case, that the show alone is one of the best attractions in EPCOT. Even against rides, it's one of the best attractions, period.
It was actually, it won the bracket. It is the best attraction, according to this channel, in EPCOT. Yes.
There you go. See? So with that being the case, against England, it just blows it out of the water, as America should.
Well, you know what? I don't think it blows it out of the water. It won. It wins the round. That is flat out it. It got the 3 votes, but I don't think it blows it out of the water because it has a great show. But England, while it doesn't have a great show, it is a walk around. It's mostly shops. I love the candy shop in England. I like the tea shop in England. I even like going in the back, and you can even look inside of Christopher Robin's room. I think that's a really cute point. The garden in the back. Yeah, that's true. If you go all on the right-hand side, go all the way to the very last shop, there is a room. Just peer into it. That's Christopher Robin's room. I like all the little details to it. America as a pavilion, it's not that great. It isn't. It's a big open court where on one side you've got Sam Eagle's barbecue shack, then you got the show, and then you've got the Art of Disney, and then you got bathrooms. And in front of it, you got a waffle stand and a beer stand, which, in my opinion, waffles and beer. That says everything you need to know about Americans and their diets. So as that kind of pavilion, I don't think it's all that great. The one thing that props it up is, in fact, the America show. That's the one thing I would say it has going for it. So it's perfect. It gets the perfect score because you 3 went first. But there you go. I actually would have gone with England because we're just strictly talking about pavilions.
I mean, you are right. I guess the show just really builds it up, and most of us
he's putting his 2 cents in because we got rid of Africa. We said no, it's just a refreshment point, and he's from Africa. Yeah. Okay. All righty. Let's go. We're with Tim here. Tim. Mexico or Germany?
Objectively speaking, I'm going to go with Mexico. I like the food in Germany a whole lot better. Mexico, it has a lot more to give. It has a uniqueness to it in that it's probably the only indoor pavilion. They did something really cool with the sky effect. The restaurant in Mexico sucks. I've eaten there before, but the restaurant outside of Mexico is really good, supposedly. From everyone that I've talked to, they said that it's like night and day.
I'll have our review, mine and Gail's review, up soon.
Yeah, Mexico has a couple of advantages to it. One, it has a museum that's inside the pyramid, so that's what you see when you get in there. When we were there the last 2 years, it was actually talking about like the Day of the Dead, the cross promote with Coco. But it's small enough that it can just like stop your traffic to catch catch a breather, just look around for a while before you enter into the main marketplace. The marketplace has a few gems in there. There's like there's some chocolate. There's a bar in there with supposedly like world-class tequila. I know that what's his name? The dude who played Doogie Howser.
Anthony Michael. No.
No,
Neil Patrick
Neil
Harris.
Patrick Harris.
He had-
Three
he had-
names. Yeah.
He has a signature drink that's actually at the bar there. And to top it off, you do have a good ride, which is the Three Caballeros ride, the Fiesta, the Grand Fiesta tour. So even though I do like the food tremendously at Germany as a pavilion, I just don't think it's a contest.
I got to agree with you. Look, I'm passing by the pictures. All of this is inside. This temple is inside. By the way, the volcano right over here, it does make, watch the smoke as it goes out. It does make a hidden Mickey. It's and granted, when we think of the pavilion, we think of this temple and what's inside. And don't climb out on the outside of the stairs. Don't be that guy who got kicked out and booted from Disney for life. The Grand Fiesta Tour, you guys, we argued it last week. It's one of my favorite rides in Epcot, hands down. I absolutely love the Moroccan band that plays out front. And I actually like to stop and watch. Even if it's a hot summer day, I will stop and watch them. La Hacienda San Angel is the restaurant me and Gail went to and had one of the best meals. But we also stopped one day and had the nachos here at La Cava del Tequila. No, that's the tequila shop. La Cantina de San Angel. Point being, it's really good. It's got 3 restaurants at 3 different price points, as well as 2 tequila shops. It's got this inside market. It's got street entertainment. Germany doesn't. It has a buffet. When you come right down to it, Germany, it does have the caramel, but ultimately it has a buffet, and that's it. And I don't even know when these guys come out. So I have got to go absolutely 100% over to Mexico. Mark, how about you?
I mean, I would say it's a tough one, but like I said before, we kept referring to the Germany pavilion as the beer garden, which kind of tells you that it has one thing about it that's good, whereas Mexico has multiple things. Mexico, as I recognize, is really just that one big temple, but all the cool stuff is inside that temple. And as Tim mentioned, when you go into the temple, you feel like you're outside. It has this great outdoor aesthetic. You feel there's a night sky above you. You see that volcano in the distance at the far end of the restaurant where the ride goes through. It's just a great atmospheric effect. You can stop and you can watch the glass blower make one of those great glass figurines, and then that's free. I mean, you can buy one if you want. You don't have to. You can stop and you can watch an artisan make his craft, and it's really amazing. And then you can go on the Three Caballeros boat ride, and you can ride through that thing, which I love. I adore that boat ride. I know the food there is very generic. We've never bothered to eat there because why would you? When you're at Disney World, you don't want like $5.99 Mexican food that you're paying like $12.99 for. But it's just a much better altogether experience at the Mexican pavilion than the German pavilion, which is really just the beer garden.
Dude, I will say to you this, just watch my review when it gets up there, man, because it's not $5.99. The taco place, yeah, sure. The outside place in Mexico that I shown, that you can basically get this right here is your basic Taco Bell style, but you can actually get real food, real Mexican food in the La Hacienda. So watch that review when I post it. I think you'll enjoy it. All righty, so Mexico moves forward, and I guess it's up to me this next one. And wow, this is a tough one in my opinion, because we've got to talk about China versus Japan. So we've got to really China. I got to go China. I thought it was going to be tough, but in all honesty, I was about to say we got 2 great pavilions that could be explored with 2 excellent shops. With good food. So everything on the surface is awesome. They each have the, not only do they have beautiful architecture, but they each have gardens and the koi pond and the lily pond as far as water features. These are two very well matched pavilions, except for one big difference, and that is inside the Temple of Japan. I don't know what's in there because I've never been allowed to go in, but inside the Temple of China, we got a really good show. So when it comes right down to it, I've got to give it to China over Japan because it offers all the same stuff with an attraction. So yeah, that's where I'm going. Professor, how about you?
I'm going to have to disagree. When we talked a lot about pavilions you can explore, that you can go through and you can look around in, Japan has everything with levels. Whenever you go in China, it's all very flat. They have a water garden, a Zen garden over there. But whenever you go to Japan, you have to go upstairs, take little bridges as you see the koi pond. You can see the temple right there. And then, like we said, going through that Japanese market, I honestly feel that I prefer going through Japan than China.
All righty. How about you, Mark?
That's actually a pretty tough choice between the two. So Japan, I think, has the better store because both China and Japan both have two really big stores, but Japan has a bigger pop culture presence, and so there's a much more greater interest in the store. But China has the temple and the theater inside and the Circle Vision movie. I would have to go with China. And just a disclaimer, this doesn't mean that I prefer China, the country, over Japan, the country. Right. I prefer China, the pavilion, over Japan, the pavilion. I just want to make that clear.
All right.
I think the Chinese pavilion, Professor has a point that the Japanese pavilion is more fun to explore because you do have to go and you do have to go upstairs and go across bridges. And I think that's really fun. But the Chinese pavilion, I think, beyond just exploring the outside of it, has more to do in it, whereas Japan just has that store. You can explore the outside, but the only real substance of that pavilion is that one store, whereas China has a store, and if you're cool with just weird China stuff, a lot of panda stuff, and Chongsam's, then China's store is good for you. And then you also have that Circle Vision. You also have that Mulan meet and greet. You also have that cool temple exterior to look at and fawn over, and your Panda Express food that's supposedly good now. But China, I think, it's a very narrow margin that I would say that it beats out Japan, but I would have to go with China.
All righty, Tim.
It's a really tough one. I still have to go with China, and I'm looking at it objectively. I think that Japan, even though I think I probably enjoy it more, just because it's like right after the American adventure, and we're just kind of walking around. China objectively just has more stuff to do, and in the end, when you're looking at the interest in the pavilion, I do think that that's an important factor in all of it. Because when I think about it, I'm like, what do I like about Japan? Oh, I like that little shop, that's kind of cool. I don't buy anything, but it's kind of fun to walk around. I like the kakigori, but again, these can all be very subjective things, whereas I think looking at it a little bit more objectively, I think the inclusion of that Circle Vision plus the acrobats, I think that you are definitely getting more bang for your buck from China as a pavilion.
All righty, so that moves on as well, and the winners on this one, and I'm going to read it off because I'm going to step out for a little bit, and I'm going to let you guys decide. The winners and the ones that move on to the next round are America, Germany, and China. Now, I'm not going to be. This is going to be.
Wait, no, Germany did not make it.
Germany did not.
It's Mexico. I'm sorry, Mexico, America, Mexico, and China. I had it written down wrong. I don't know why I did that. I've got all the check marks on Mexico, and still I wrote Germany.
What's Germany paying you? Tell me.
America, Mexico, and China, gentlemen, we need to eliminate one of those. You know what? I do want to step into this. Forget it. Maybe we'll bring Gail in on this one. But which one, Professor? One of these has to go this round. America, Mexico, or China.
Wait, am I picking between 3?
Yeah, and one of them has to. You're picking to eliminate one right now.
I'll go first. China. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to agree. I'm eliminating China
I
because
would go with the American Pavilion. It's got a great show, but once again, it's not a great pavilion.
Well, you're a traitor, and
Yeah.
I hate you forever because I'm choosing China. You terrible Benedict
Okay,
Arnold.
so all of you guys picked China over the they
That's the one I was going to pick too.
you would eliminate China as well? Okay. So they're like, you traitor. All righty. Even if we had to do a tiebreaker, she would have agreed with you guys. All right. I'm telling you, the show's great. It's the best ride or an attraction but the pavilion is not impressive. I'm sorry. It just isn't. All right. So there you go. Moving on. It comes down to America versus Japan.
what?
Mexico.
Mexico.
Why am I doing this?
Mexico.
I'm trying to go with anything but Mexico. Why am I doing this? I don't know what it is where I'm looking at the word and I'm saying something different. All righty. Not that I've ever made a mistake like this ever before on any of my channels. No, now the FBI will come after me. Yeah, you chose China over. Well, if it's, I think there you go. They've redeemed themselves because they booted out China. Well, I'm gonna, no, keep it. Tweet out that England team chooses China over America. He supports COVID. There you go.
You released the China virus.
I think that was you, young lady. Thank you very
Well,
much.
which one of you ate a bat most recently?
Oh, that would be me. Yes.
Well, there you go.
Gail actually had to go through the COVID. So she was the one that supported it. All righty. So here we go. Last round. Who wants it? Who wants to start talking first? I forgot where I was.
I will.
Okay, Tim. Tim gets it. Why do you choose one or the other? America versus Mexico. Pavilion, not country.
This is why last week when you introduced this potential, I really wanted to talk about it because I had a feeling it would come down to this. It shows that you can have a good attraction, but that doesn't mean that your pavilion is better. I'm going to say that Mexico is the best pavilion in the World Showcase for all the reasons I've already said. It's unique in its architecture in that the thing is completely enclosed. You get kind of everything that each individual one has to offer. You have the attraction, which is the ride. You have a crappy restaurant and a good restaurant. You have a museum. You have a marketplace. You have good eats. It's air conditioned. If just by saying the name Mexico Pavilion, I think all of you here can conjure up that smell. It's that pleasant smell of like bean burritos in that marketplace. I always know that when you go to the Mexico Pavilion, you can't leave there just feeling like pumped. And if you're a new person to EPCOT and you start there, you just wish that all the pavilions are like this one. And then you might get disappointed because they're not quite at its level in terms of what it has to offer. But I just think that its overall presentation in terms of what it has to say as a cultural representation and as being as kind of like a Disney mascot, I think they find a really good blend of all of them. So even though I think the American Adventure has the superior attraction in all of EPCOT, doesn't make for the best pavilion. So I will say Mexico.
All righty, who's next?
I guess I'll go next.
All right.
Yeah, it is, as a red-blooded American, it is killing me to say Mexico because I don't think the Three Caballeros ride is more fun or more enthusiastic than the Great American Adventure, but the Mexico Pavilion as a whole package has more to offer than the American Pavilion does. And that's not so bad. I mean, we are in America. I'm in America right now, everybody. So I can enjoy America. But the Mexico Pavilion is supposed to be like a little slice of another country that you're visiting while you're still in the U.S. And they do give you so much to do in that pavilion. You do get to go into that temple. You do get to have that experience of feeling like you're under the night sky in Mexico. You get to see the glass blowers. You get to see the volcano. You get to go on the ride. You get to eat the crappy food. You get to do all that stuff, listen to the mariachi band. The American pavilion is just that one show and then a bunch of really convenient bathrooms. And I love that show so much, and it's killing me, but the Mexican pavilion is just more fun to do.
All righty. Yeah, it's going to go to Mexico. Because look, my number one attraction at Epcot is the American Adventure. It's a beautiful show. Absolutely. My number two attraction at Epcot is the Grand Fiesta Tour in Mexico. I love it. I love the song. I love the audio animatronics, everything about it. But once again, it's this. I'll do a walkthrough of America to show you what I'm talking about. But it is literally 3 buildings side by side, and then a bathroom. Over here, you've got a Waffle Hut. Over here, you've got where you can buy beer, and that's it. A stage for a rock and roll show. Rock and roll beer and waffles, baby. That's what America has to offer. That's what it's got going. Mexico does kind of immerse you into that culture. It does have that great Mexican food smell. The ride's awesome. I get entertained by that. I've actually bought stuff from the Mexican pavilion as well. I was actually surprised they did sell cocaine, but I was thinking Florida cocaine's better, but I'll try this. It was a very interesting experience, but you go outside and you also got the better restaurant, the fast food joint, the margarita place out there, and you get a picture spot with Donald, and you get a live show with the mariachi band, and you could walk around the Mexican gardens because there's actually paths and topiary out there as well. And they've got those little rice riders, all sorts of stuff. Mexico is freaking packed with stuff to do. It's just a better pavilion than the American pavilion. Not a better show, but it is a better pavilion. All righty. You're just nodding, Prof. Are you like, yeah, screw you traitors, I'll kill you all?
No, I'm just thinking about what Mark said. We're in America. I'm in America, everybody. So I'm going to have to follow James Taylor down to Mexico. So
people like me will make Biden president. No. No. I have orders that if I'm clicking on Biden to be shot in the leg, Gail's all locked and loaded.
Oh, I do want to mention, I love that video that's become kind of the meme. It's of Mexican Donald with the poncho and the sombrero at the Mexican pavilion. And that service dog, that golden retriever, is like sleeping in his lap and he's just petting it. Have you seen that video?
No, I haven't.
It's really sweet. It's Donald comes out for the meet and greet, and this kid's service dog, who's like a golden retriever, just comes out and just loves Donald. Just like Donald bends down on his knees, and the little golden retriever just comes up and just like climbs onto his like feathery knees and just goes to sleep in his lap, and Donald's like petting him. It's just so sweet.
All righty. That is cool. England team supports Mexico and China. Okay. No, all England team needs right now is all homemade Floridian food. Yeah. Some gator bites and some key lime pie, baby. That's
Don't
what
forget
I'm
the fried
looking for.
pickles.
Say again?
Don't forget the fried pickles.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that wouldn't be too bad. Tomorrow we'll get some Zaxby's and some fried pickles. Okay.
Ooh.
That sounds good. Yeah. All right. With the insane hot sauce, the really hot stuff. All right, there you go, gang. Look, I'm actually kind of happy with the way this ended. I did think, obviously, I fought for the China thing a little bit too much, maybe, but otherwise, I
aren't biased. You know, it's proof that we aren't biased. We didn't choose America. Mexico objectively was better.
I would want to let's throw out something here, okay? Because we didn't do it last week. I don't know if you guys would even want to go back, but let me ask you a question. Here you go. Tim, you ready?
I am ready.
All righty. Adventureland or Tomorrowland?
Adventureland or Tomorrowland. I have to remember what's in Adventureland. I always get Adventureland has Jungle Cruise, Pirates of the Caribbean, and the Tiki Birds.
Aladdin.
I will go with Tomorrowland for this one.
Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Mark?
I guess that comes down to because all Tomorrowland really has that I like is Space Mountain,
Carousel of Progress.
Oh, Carousel of Progress,
People Mover.
Yeah, Adventureland has the Jungle Cruise, which I'm actually not that big on, and I like the Tiki Room, but and I like Pirates of the Caribbean. So it really comes down to Space Mountain versus Pirates of the Caribbean. I think I'd choose Space Mountain, so Tomorrowland.
Alrighty, how about you, Professor?
I have to agree. Even with the Magic Carpets, Astro Orbiter is a better version of the Magic Carpet. So,
wow.
I mean, Tomorrowland is full sweep.
I would go Adventureland. It's just a better looking place. Now, granted, I want the Aladdin out of the way, but with Jungle Cruise, Pirates and Tiki, and the Skipper's Canteen there, I've got to go with that. It's just I like the shopping better in the Pirates. I like the stuff you can get there. They even got the Dole Whip as far as snacks are concerned versus those horrible hot dogs in the Tomorrowland Terrace. It's just, in my opinion, Adventure's better the whole way through. All righty. How about this one, guys? We're going to go Frontierland versus Fantasyland.
Frontierland. It has Haunted Mansion. It has
no, that's Liberty Square.
We'll get there.
Liberty Square is separate. Okay. Well, then it has Big Thunder Mountain and it has Splash Mountain, and I'd like to see anybody top that.
Tim?
Yeah, I agree.
How about you, Prof?
Fantasyland has so many classic attractions. That's what makes it hard. But I think I'd have to go with Frontierland too because of Big Thunder and Splash Mountain. Even though I do love like Small World and Peter Pan, all right there, it's classic. It's kiddie stuff.
I gotta agree. I like the architecture better, in all honesty, in Frontierland, and that's part of the reason. Fantasyland. Look, I like the rides, and you're right, they're classic and everything, but Fantasyland is the closest they have to an amusement park rather than a theme park. When you go on each individual ride, sure, they're themed, but everything looks the same on the outside. And it does. I don't think I feel immersed in anywhere until I go into the attractions. But Frontierland and Adventureland actually have that over that. So what were you going to say?
Frontierland also has Country Bears, and that beats it all. So, that's just
This is a hard call because I'm thinking, what should I put this up against? But I'm going to put three up against each other, and you got Liberty Square. You got the Character Land. I don't know what they're calling it. It was Mickey's Land back in my day.
Oh, Circus. Disney. Mickey Circus.
Okay, Mickey Circus. And Main Street.
Oh, man. I mean, are those other two even really a thing anymore? I mean, one has the Barnstormer and one has the smell of fresh baked cookies, and one has the Haunted Mansion. I mean, I'm going to go with the Haunted Mansion. All
righty. How about you, Tim?
Yeah, me too. And it's not just that. They have three places that are really good to eat. You have the Columbia Harbor House. You have the Sleepy Hollow Market where they have like experimental food. Most people don't know that. They think it's just a stand, and that's where they actually try out kind of strange concoctions and things like that. And then you have our personal favorite place to eat, which is Liberty Tree Tavern.
Yes, we just had lunch there. It's really good.
It's fantastic. I mean, so here's the real quick funny story about that. When we started listening to Disney Food Blog a year ago, we were wondering what she would ever rank as like the best restaurant per park, which are a pretty interesting set of videos she does. But my wife and I were like, I wonder what she's gonna pick because we like Liberty Tree Tavern, and she picked Liberty Tree Tavern. I was like, yes,
I would too. In all honesty, it's if that's a whole other video, guys. That might be the next video before we go on to. We might have to stop off and do. We do a pick 6. Yeah, where we go one each park, a hotel, and then Disney Springs. I think that would be kind of cool. Have y'all eaten at hotel restaurants?
A few of them, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. There you go. You gave us our next topic, dude. And then the following, we'll go to Hollywood Studios. I still wanted to try to give you a time to get on Star Wars before we go to Hollywood. We got one more Star Wars ride to do. Let's see.
Well, if we really want to try to hold off, we can also do Animal Kingdom before.
Oh yeah, we will. We'll get there. Trust me, we're gonna get there.
But I think for picking restaurants, we might want to include Disney Springs. So like we do each park, Disney Springs. Oh, I didn't hear that.
Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, a hotel restaurant, and Disney Springs restaurant. We'll do a pick 6. And
I think there's a lot of restaurants I haven't eaten at, so I might have to only be able to participate in some of these.
Well, you do what you can.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's supposed to be fun, so we don't have to adhere to all the rules, but it'll start there. And if you can't go, like if you don't eat a whole bunch of, obviously you can only rank the ones you've tried. You know, I haven't eaten all of them, but if you haven't been to hotel restaurants, toss in another Disney Springs. That's cool. Okay. We're this is all about fun. We don't have to be stickler to the rules. All right, let's see. Robert saying Disney needs to install an updated Pirates Caribbean and Tomorrowland with the pirates using cigarette speedboats, keys. All right, maybe that's something you should put in a request for. Either way, guys, thank you very much for hanging out while we discussed the Epcot World Showcase. I think it's a fantastic part of the that's our favorite part of Epcot. It is the best part of Epcot, in my opinion. And it's got me hungry to go back to Beer Garden. I think that's the next restaurant, right, Gary? Yeah. That better be feathers on my shoulder. What is that on my shoulder? What is that?
Poop.
No, it isn't. No, okay.
Duke.
You got lucky, little bird. Yeah, you got lucky. Okay. All righty. Either way, gang, thanks for hanging out. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching. And remember, have a zippity-doo-dah day.
And we'll see you
real soon.
Soon.